like wanted to work for a city government agency, and it happens that like there's this like thing, and it was like, oh, he was right this time. So we just kind of pursue for it, and then yeah, hopefully.
This is perfect. He is a progressive. I like him a lot. And I met his wife. Well, I think with Charlene, whatever his wife's name is, Charlene or something like that. I met her at the home with her, and she has poise for days. She has so much poise. I said, now I can see something in him because this woman is together.
Have you met the mayor?
Who, me?
No.
Oh.
You just work. You're just starting.
I mean, I'm not in the office yet. I'm still in like it's 3 days intensive like training about the program and what's the program about, and then like all the rules that you have to follow, and then like not wear their gears while you're out there, and you can't do any political affiliation related like activities. And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's recording.
So you can't join the Republican Party while you're there?
I can talk about politics while you're in the office. You can't like participate in any kind of like political movement. You can talk about like the current voting stuff about Trump or Clinton. You can practice your voting outside. You can participate any of that things outside, but not in the office. That's interesting, isn't it? It's like you would think that like they would get all political about things, but it's prohibited.
Well, they probably learn from experience.
That like doesn't work. And it's so interesting because they were talking about like I was learning something about like the console thing that they have, and there's like currently a lot more like Democrats than Republicans, and
the console?
The council?
Oh, the city council?
The city council has like, I think like 63 members, and like 58 of them are Democrats, and like 3 of them or something like are only Republicans. And New York's known for like corruption and like all the controllers in the past few ones that have been locked up in prison, and then that's all like, and they're trying to like improve it. It's just so interesting because I've heard about like how New York is known for like corruption, but like to actually like kind of review the information, it's just like, oh wow, it is true.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a book called The Hitman. Have you ever heard of this book?
Hitman? I heard
The
about
Hitman?
the title, but I don't.
Economic hitman. He was one who's working for the government, who was actually paying off governments all over the world to do certain things, and he would bribe the head of state.
Right.
And he's come public.
Right.
It's amazing. But you see, apparently, and when I listen to the BBC, it's clear to me that they are very happy to hear how all these poor countries who suffered under their rule for so long, the British rule for so long, then somebody takes a bribe, or they want the money that they're tempted with, and they just are so happy to report on people taking money or not doing well.
You know who you're talking to? With? You know who you're talking with? This is David Henderson.
And you are?
A famous poet. Very famous poet. He's on top of the list. He's the last one standing.
Oh, for goodness sakes, man. No, you're not going to do that, are you?
Yeah.
Why not?
You could make believe that you would just not tell me and do it later.
And I'd be like,
David Henderson / poet.
Oh, I met a lot of poets at the place because they're working with, it's from CUNY. They are professors, I believe, and they're twins. Marissa Hernandez, and then she has a twin, and then Maria Hernandez, and she's a poet. She works really closely with the Harlem area, and then like she recently gave she's a really famous poet. Yeah, and they both graduated from like NYU, and then. Yeah, I don't know if you know them, but
they're in the graduate program?
No, they like, I think they like your age.
Because I was doing something in the graduate center there at CUNY, which Now they got all phony, man. It's like they just, those people, they are so crazy. I swear. The politics of the university of
Right.
CUNY or NYU or Columbia.
Why would you say that?
Oh, for instance, Columbia won from these Asian, these South Asian gas stations. They won eminent domain suit, 10 blocks from 150th to 135th Street, from Broadway to the river.
Right.
They won it in court, eminent domain. Unbelievable, and they just manipulated the whole thing, just like a huge scandal, and they
Is
got
it recent or like before?
recent in the last 5 years. And
Because
they-
I wasn't in the city like the last 5 years.
Where
Like
were you?
I was up in Syracuse going to school, so
Syracuse.
that's where I was. And I was like, that was an okay experience. It's like exposed me to like a completely different world. Yeah.
Oh, New York State. Oh my God.
And it's like big, and then and it's just like different, like seeing like people from all walks of backgrounds that are like completely different from yours, and like a lot of like privileged kids,
Oh God.
and like looking at like the fraternities and sorority life is just like it was like a shocking experience. Yeah. And then I was at the place today and it just felt like home. Like I didn't feel like I belonged there when I was attending school there, and then like being around so many white people, and then like coming home and then someone was sharing the same story after he went to Cornell University and like exposed to like the academic side of like outside of the city, which is like like really relatable. Yeah.
We have to make our own thing in the city. Have
Right.
people of color, college of arts, still want to do it. In the town,
Right.
downtown. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can just walk and we can encounter each other. Like all these NYU students are doing now.
No, it's easier here because the diversity it's better. People like even like up there, it's like a lot of people are from like suburban areas, never seen another colored person, and then they're ones who came from like Connecticut, from like a really rich family, and it's just like being in a class like, and then there's city people versus like the suburban people, and like doesn't really click, and it's just like really like different like vibe and like atmosphere.
Oh,
Yeah.
for goodness sake.
No, it's good though. It's all good like exposure.
Well, it's good for them that they're
Yeah,
finally
but
getting
then
a
it's like
sense of the world.
mentally, as if you were from like someone as a first person who ever gone to college, it's like a I don't know, like a shocking experience, and it took me like 2 years to like get adjusted to that kind of environment, and then like finally coming back out and just like yeah.
Sound like you should write about it because you're very perceptive about it, and
I'm not the only person. Like I know, like yeah, I have friends who we all go through the same thing, and then coming back here and then like having people from like similar backgrounds and telling the same story, it's like there's a pattern there.
Yes.
There's like something to speak up about,
Yes.
and it's just like I don't know, it's just like trying to like help things and moving things along, and like trying to like help people who are going through the same through the same journey could be just like really uplifting. Like if I stayed in here, I could have like felt a lot more comfortable in this environment, but like having gone out there and see that like a lot of my peers who wanted to get out of the city and get that experience is like I don't know, like liberating, and then like coming back and sharing that experience and moving forward with things. And it's just like, oh, it's not just happening here, but like also happening outside.
Have you been to California yet?
I haven't. Dying to go there one day.
75 million people.
Right.
The 8th largest economy in the world. We actually took over the city of Berkeley for a while, some years ago, and it was such a hassle to run the government. But it was so interesting too, because the radicals out there, the left is so in Northern California, in Berkeley.
Oh yeah, I have a friend who went to Berkeley. She told me that there's like protest like every corner, like every other week. So like I was like, wow. And then like, yeah, and then when she just finished in 3 years, and I was like, oh, great for you. But I don't know how I would feel like if I were there, and like, I think it's a good thing though.
I think you would enjoy it because China, first of all, the strike, the third road strike,
Yeah.
to get the third road department in Berkeley was all the students took part in it, and it was, and they fight the cops.
Yeah.
Like here, they don't, but there they go out in the morning. They have breakfast. People have their tear gas masks on and this, and they go at it. And the cops have helicopters, and the state troopers are marching, and everything. They just fight all day, and then they go home, and they come back the next day. You know, and this is the demonstration.
Did they yell any results?
Oh, sure. I mean, they're fighting. They're actually fighting. It's not like they're just in New York. The people don't fight. They just kind of act angry and stuff, you know.
So like real action. That's funny.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and the Japanese used to have, you know, had these marches with these long sticks.
And during the war time,
That's
I've seen them in the movies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.